What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, class swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hopefully, you guys are not Snapchatting too much. I could tell you guys are not because earnings are down, but maybe we should start a group that just Snapchats all day. Try to pump it up because the entire market obviously depends solely on Snapchat. So if Snapchat goes down, we saw Snapchat take a 50% hit last quarter, and the entire market just absolutely got crushed. Today, Snap is down about, 30%, somewhere in that range from close, and it is also getting absolutely crushed. The market is down as well. Again, I say it lightly because obviously Snapchat is not going to bring the entire market down again. I mean, it kind of did the first time. Not gonna lie, kind of did the first time. But PSA, yeah, this entire next 2 hours I'm on the mic is just about trying to pump up Snapchat. That's it. All I'm trying to do is just get more users for them because they're gonna need some outside help. They're gonna need some outside help. Let's take a look real quick. I know I start off with the SPY every day, but we're gonna start with Snapchat today. Just because today is a national use Snapchat day. Just use Snapchat. If you got a business, start throwing some ads on there. If you're a consumer, start buying whoever is selling anything on. They need help. They need help. It's really for the overall economy. It's going to be for the overall economy. So again, it's one of those days we got to scroll down even further to see where we're opening. But very, very weak gap. If we're looking at a daily chart on the Snaposaurus, we are. Where did I see this one? I think it was actually a weekly chart. We go to a weekly chart. We have a pretty decent looking hammer back there. And we are gapping completely underneath it. So RIP Snapchat. RIP. It says snap it, pop it, twist it, beat it, rip it. Yeah. That's not a great gap on a weekly right underneath their last really hope, and that was their run up to I think $90. That was their run up to $90. That was their last official hope to get there, and they we're failing that. So we're failing that. Maybe one more stop on Snap to 644, 645 before it hits the graveyard, but right now it's dwindling. So some other effects that you see in the market, and I think this is why I think the market does react off of Thinkorswim, off of Snapchat, just because they're in the advertising business, right? They're technically in the advertising business. They're involved with the social media business. So that's going to kind of give, and then the first one's the report. And I think that's why so much pressure is on Snapchat. Just because you have, what is that going to do for Meta? If Snapchat's suffering, what about Facebook? What about Google? What about all those? Does that mean that people are not spending on advertising anymore? What about apps? Breaking news: Elon offers to buy Snapchat at 420. That would be hilarious. That would not only would it be hilarious, but I wouldn't even doubt that that's not true. First he gets Twitter, then he gets Snapchat. He's just waiting for Facebook to drop to $25 a share. He's gonna own all social media. He will never get kicked off a platform ever again. It's pretty smart. In the long run, I mean, if you're Elon Musk, right? I mean, not that he has to really pay any money for commercials, and he doesn't pay money for commercials because he's Elon Musk. He doesn't have to. But by you just owning the platform that everybody else is paying to advertise on, and you could pretty much get free advertising off of those heavily viewed, providing there's not 80% bots, different platforms. It's actually not a bad business decision to just own the media yourself, being in business, realistically. Here's a weekly on Meta. So again, we closed. Well, this is the weekly. Let me flip this over to a daily. But even not a good open on the Meta. Again, this is that candle that we all saw. We're all watching very closely. Even more important than that candle, I'm watching those VPOCs. This is technically a retest gap. Maybe we'd get some kind of a dip buy at the open, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Their earnings come out on the 26th. Today is the 21st. So we have another 5 days. What does that take us to? Today's what, Friday? So Wednesday. We get their earnings on Wednesday. Again, I just don't know how comfortable somebody's going to be purchasing, like to say, hey, I want to own Meta and also do it prior to earnings. Market like something that happens. Yeah, it's probably Hector's fake news that he's pumping about Elon buying Snapchat. That's it. All you have to do is say someone's buying Snap, and that's it. Markets go crazy. Yep, we are getting some bullish buying, at least for right this second. Jason put a very interesting post into Slack. I think it was $1 trillion in options expire today. Expect the volatility. Expect it for sure. Right now, even with this pump that we're pushing in now, which is a good effort, still below very, very strong resistance to that extent. So we'll see what happens on this. But yeah, right now we are getting a little bit of a pump. Still has to pump a lot more. We have to get above 366.37. I'll call it 366.40 for us to really say, okay. Because again, two things, and I think this is, I mean, again, this is a daily chart, right? What have we really seen happen in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? What have we really seen? And I'll even go 21 on this one, 22. The last 3 weeks, over 3 weeks. And I'm drawing my line down there, but realistically it could be here. We are just trading sideways. That's impressive. Dan counts to 20. Yeah, it's 30 that troubles me. It's 30 that troubles me. If I have to go to 30, that's the full 22 minutes we got left. Trying to figure it out. Fed is speaking at 9:10. All right, so let's watch out for that as well. But could this be, we break this downtrend, which we did, right? We broke it over here. Could this be some kind of a retest? And then we do this? Maybe. Could we do this? Maybe. There's a lot of selling. I think a full wave count is in. I'm kind of still longer term. I think this happens, but I think we get some kind of bounce first. So, but again, this is still just chop, 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 chop until we start breaking out of the cycle, which could be a while. I mean, again, we've only been in this thing for 3 weeks. This could be a while. First step though, and we are pumping a little bit harder. Let's see if we can get above that 366.40. We got about 30 more cents. If this gets rejected right here, it's not good for the day. So we'll watch that as it gets a little bit closer to the open of the market. Somebody said, hey, let's check out Googs. The Guggenheimer. G-O-O-G. Yep. Well, they're Snapchat effect. Question is, in 10 years from now, do you think Google's around? Even if we go into a recession, depression, do you think Google still survives? I think we're getting into some decent valuation where I think it's good to start being interesting, at least. If we're looking at where this thing could actually reach next, based on just volume, which is typically a good indicator, right? Where people actually want to buy this thing. We've already broken down this level. That's now going to be some kind of resistance on Google. I think Google has the potential to get somewhere closer to about $88. Right? If all of that's going to be resistance, this is the last spot we saw some kind of move. So could you, again, it's Google. They have a moat. They're Google. Yahoo used to have that moat though too, so just be careful. But everyone's like, Yahoo, I use it for my fantasy football team now. That's it. Has anybody done a search on Yahoo lately? I don't know. Are they even in that business anymore? I don't know. But this is not a, again, on a daily basis, there's no volume, nothing really to hold it up in this range. So again, unless we start getting above this 104, 105 zone, which would take us up to about 116, you're more than likely coming down to about $88 on Google. But it's low. It's Google. It's not going anywhere. So if you wanted to buy some shares for a long-term basis, yeah, small. Take some bites. Don't go to the buffet. Go to those, like one of those rich restaurants where like you pay $3,500 to try one cracker with some cheese. Like take a small little bite. That's it. Like you want to go to that place where you cannot pronounce anything on the menu, and then it's all kind of tasting gross, but you have to act like you like it anyway. That's the kind of place you need to be in right now, pretty much buying anything in the market. And then afterwards, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm still hungry. Let's go to McDonald's and just get to number 2. And then later, after you eat the McDonald's number 2, you proceed home to make your own number 2. There's no interest in Google, but if you want to buy, yes, valuations are starting to get a little bit better on Google. It is giving you a very, very good opportunity to get in. Small. Don't unload the boat yet, but somewhere around here, I'd be a lot more interested. Around the $88 range. Anyway, let's go to some of on a day trade basis, though. Yeah, if you're looking for a day trade, we're probably still going to feel the snap effect plus the overall economy effect. You're still just kind of hanging out in this range. Technically, it's a retest gap. If you are going to short it, try to short it a little bit higher than here, because you are opening a little bit of support range. So be patient at the open if you are trying to day trade it. Longer term basis, it probably does drop a little bit further. AMZN. Hector started drinking early today. Early, I mean, think about this. Does time really exist? Somebody tells you right now it's 9:13 Eastern. Why? Like, who made that number up? Probably the prohibitionists. They're like, no, not till 5 p.m. Matt R says, can I borrow your CD2 loaded on my computer? I don't know what that means. Oh, Brandon says I use Netscape. Netscape's good company. They'll come back. I think Bed Bath Beyond sells Netscape CDs for free. And they still send you a 20% off coupon for it. So it's good business. And if you don't like it, go to Kohl's. You can return it back to Amazon for some weird reason. All right, we got Amazon inside day. Nothing really too crazy happening. The only benefit of the doubt as to why this maybe could get saved is at least we are still hanging out above the 10 EMA on the daily chart. Honestly, that's about it. Probably going to be a little bit choppy for a little bit longer. We're just in a very tightly wound range. Probably till about earnings. That's going to take us to October 27th. So earnings coming in on Amazon. Otherwise, for day trade purpose, I would lean a little bullish if I had to pick, but I don't have to pick. So we'll let it go. Apple, a little bit different looking. Below yesterday's VPOC. Actually, this one's throwing a gap and go, and we are actually able to play this. Question is now, do we want to? We have some kind of support, 142.40. So I want 142.42 break first. I'll add an alert. If that breaks, I'll be a little more excited to get into this trade. Unlike Amazon, we are currently below the 10 EMA, so have to lean a little bit more bearish on this one. And we do have a gap and go. Caveat to that gap and go, right? The more important gap and goes to look at least in my opinion, what I will take a little bit more serious. Yes, it's a gap and go. Absolutely. Day before green, we're opening lower. Anybody who bought yesterday is trapped. The two things that I would look at for if this gap and go is going to put or produce a lot of weight to it, volume was kind of low. you're not really trapping as many people in that candle. And then number two is I'm looking for candles that create emotions, or at least they make people react. This candle here makes people feel some kind of way and react, right? You're gapping up here. Somebody's going to be profitable on this trade. If anybody got in short, they're closing out positions. This candle is going to affect the history of Apple based on how many people decided to buy or sell from previous positions they set because they were wrong or right. This candle right here, where'd my thing go? Flip it in reverse. See, hey, it's not even drawing my pictures. There we go. That arrow, this candle right here, if you were going to buy because it was a retest and you bought here, you bought wherever, right? Or you sold, this candle right here it's moving past a previous day candle. Somebody is going to say, okay, I'm right or wrong, and I have to sell or buy. This candle on this gap and go isn't really creating any new emotions. If you had a position, whether it's to go long or short in this candle, this previous candle that makes the market move or makes decisions happen, you could sit through another day. You're not feeling that much pain. So the one caveat is if it was gapping below this candle, I would say it has a little bit more momentum. This candle right here, it is a gap and go, but still inside of the last candle that actually did anything. Right. So I don't know if we get too much momentum. The one spot I will look at is pretty much where we are. No, we're not at it right now, but somewhere slightly lower where I set that alert. If we can start breaking that VPOC, okay, maybe it starts picking up a little bit. I still have to worry about that little spot right there. Does it break? Does it have enough momentum to get out of that candle? But it's playable. We can play it. Real Virtual Demand. Great to be here as always. It's great to have you. It's great to have you. It feels a little empty without you. I'm not even gonna lie. In fact, before you got here, I said to everybody, I was like, we can't start. It feels wrong to start actually without you. And so I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you coming, stopping into YouTube land. All of you guys on YouTube, I appreciate all you guys. Make sure you hit the like and thumbs up button. Make sure you also hit the subscribe button for all of the latest content and notifications and videos. And as the market acts wild, you can stay ahead of it and keep current with what is actually happening with this market. NVIDIA is gapping below. The Kathy Woods, Kathy Woods sold all of her NVIDIA at 120 or something in that range yesterday. She sold it yesterday. She's out of NVIDIA because it's too low to hold, really, I think that's the spot where she likes to sell. And she took that money and pushed it right over into Elon Musk's Tesla. So if we're looking at the charts, yes, I do think, I will agree to some extent, I think NVIDIA might still be overvalued. I think it does have the ability to come down a decent amount more, almost probably still about half. I'll give it maybe about 40% from here. But have you seen the Tesla chart lately? We'll get to it next. But that was somebody from the ARK, I'm going to call it Foundation. Some of the brain children over there said, NVIDIA is way too low. We got it higher. Mission accomplished. Let's sell it. Let's get out of our previous bullish stance as it was coming down, because there's a lot more room for Tesla to come down, and we want to make sure we don't miss that. Free advertising if it does. NVIDIA, so it is a gap and go, and we are also breaking through one of those VPOCs right now. Probably we do fade a little bit lower. I'm watching this zone down here as my next stop. I don't know if this happens today. We'd have to go kind of really bearish, but watch this little VPOC, which was somewhere at maybe 120.44. If it starts to break 120.44, again, it's not really going to be, hey, I'm really excited to buy this thing, because 122 is going to be a little bit of a resistance area. We do have a inverse hammer yesterday, but just watch that area very, very closely, as we could just chop around and push us right back. But for 10 EMA, it is there. It is available. We've had a bullish trend. This gap right now is starting to to change that trend just a little bit and watch for targets of 113.32. That would be an interesting spot. Again, I think NVIDIA does head a little bit lower for sure. Got some time on thoughts for Meta after earnings yesterday. Well, Meta didn't have earnings yesterday. Snapchat did. Snapchat. But I can see how they get confused. So can I ask which volume indicator sometimes used on the left hand? Yep, that is the Lux algo. It's a volume profile. So if you type in Lux, you'll see a suite of products. Some are premium, some are free. Volume profile is free, so you are able to add that to your charts at a freemium, no cost to you. Yep. Yeah. No. Meta's a Peter. Meta's a sympathy play of Snapchat. So Snapchat did report. Meta did not. And I think you're seeing moves from Google, Meta, a couple other social media names, or anything involved probably in advertising today is going to get a little bit of a hit from that. NVIDIA will be around longer than Apple. That's a bold statement. That's a bold statement. I've never actually thought about who's going to outlive each other. Honestly, I think both of them are solid companies. I don't think Apple or NVIDIA goes anywhere. And I think that's why the premise of that question makes it very tough for me to answer. But to some extent, they're not immortal. They're not. I don't think they found a fountain of youth. So it's possible maybe that after iPhone 85 comes out, people are like, wait, this is the same thing as iPhone 1. And they start getting a little wise to it. They're like, nah, there's not even another spot for a camera on my phone. I think you guys are just playing me at this point. So we'll see. If Apple could come out with a newer product and not just track ovulation cycles on the new products, I think that will give Apple maybe another leg to stand on. But I do agree I agree in the sense that they do need a new product to keep like interesting. Something like when the iPad came out, something when the iPhone came out, AirBuds came out, like a lot of the stuff that people buy. And the one thing Apple does have is they have the branding loyalty. So people like anything Apple that comes out, they're excited. So we will see. We'll see what happens. Technically, AMD is a gap and go barely, but it is for right this second. And we'll see where this one opens. Again, we're kind of just channeling sideways at this point. Nothing too crazy. And it's just been in Chopzilla zone for quite some time. Pretty big reversal, inverse hammer yesterday. Not a great looking candle. Like if you were to just take that candle by itself and put that picture on your wall, you would say, great. If we gap down from there, we probably head lower. I agree. I think AMD does have the ability to move lower. The question is to how much. 57.10's next spot. One after that one is 56.76. Just chopping sideways, still below the 10. I got to lean more bearish than bullish on AMD, but it's going to be probably another little choppy day. Let's see. Cathie Wood's new pet project. This is now with the new 66 million shares purchased of Tesla. This becomes her largest holding. This is her new largest holding in the ARK funds. And this thing does not look good. Again, maybe a little chop at open. This is a high wave indecision candle. The one thing you could make a case on is if someone was to go short, it's right pretty much where we're opening right now. We did break that yesterday and we got pushed right back. So a little bit of a bear trap on Tesla with a high wave with good volume. Honestly, if I want to play Tesla, take the break of the high of yesterday, stop at the low, play this candle in particular. And if we do continue to break down lower, we probably see that Cathie Woods effect. We probably see that. Wasn't it before when ARK was all-time highs? So she had Tesla already in the fund as one of her main positions. She sold a lot after Tesla's started selling, and then she took that money to buy TDoc, I believe, and some other suite of names that that probably had a news story out at the time. But I think she got a lot of teledoc at that point. That's working out well for her. And then now, but she did sell some Tesla. Now she's buying it back because it looks like it potentially could fall off a cliff. And so I'm live on YouTube right now, right? So anybody could tune in, anybody could listen. If Cathie Woods is listening, I would like a job. I would like a job with ARK, because I feel like there's no standards. I think anybody that has the ability to you don't even have to open up a chart. Actually, I don't think you even have to. All you have to do is print out names of actual stocks, and even if you make up tickers that don't even exist, I think it doesn't really boot you from the interview process. I think it's like, oh, well, you at least had letters. At least they were alphabetical letters. I don't think there's much that goes into any research, or I don't think there's a single chart. I don't even know. Could somebody tell Cathie Woods that you could look at charts? Because I don't know if they're familiar with that. I mean, I got you guys asking me what indicators I'm using on the side. She didn't even know there was indicators. She didn't even know that. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. But just chasing. She's chasing the next story. That's really it. TJ woke up and selected violence today. I don't know. It's Friday. It's a weird week. I'm only halfway through my coffee. That kind of day. And we are in chop zone on most things. And Snapchat got me feeling some kind of way, to be honest. Snapchat, I mean, they bring down the market, but they just bring down my emotions too. It's just like, oh, not again, Snapchat, not again. Yeah, we did talk about Google. We could pull it up again. GOOG. Again, I think Google could eventually, longer term, probably not today, but hit $88. That would be a very interesting spot for Google. That being said, we're just kind of we do have a double bottom, but we are really just in a chop zone. If you're going to play it for a day trade, I would be trying to buy this thing low, see if it drops to about 98.49, reject somewhere in that zone, and then that would be a spot. It is technically a retest gap. So if you do want to play that retest higher, somewhere actually where it's opening right now, 98.50, 98.49 is a probably buy at open type scenario. Try to play that retrace. Stops on this one if you're going to go long, 96.94. Ultimately, though, we're just kind of chopping. So again, if you want to take the inverse of that, try to go short on it, see if it can get to about $100, $10, and that would be a better spot to short. But you're probably just range bound today unless something crazy happens with the overall market. You guys did say the market was pumping earlier. Let's just take a real quick look one more time if we were able to hold any of those levels. So far, not. We were just at the spot where we needed to be to come close. We already rejected that. If I was to take a Cathie Woods guess on this one, probably we end up fading. Watch out for 361.38. That would be my immediate target. If we get one lower, that's about 59.04. But unfortunately, we only got like 56 seconds left until the beautiful sound of the opening bell comes in this morning. So make sure I mean, the only thing probably that sounds better to me than that opening ding, ding, ding of the opening market is every time you guys can't hear it on your end, but every time you guys hit that little thumbs up button, I hear like a ding dong, and I'm like, woo, a new bell. I like a new bell. So make sure you guys on YouTube hit that thumbs up, that like button. Make sure if you have not subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Like, I'm not even going to I'm going to waive all sign up fees for subscribing on YouTube for today. Limited time only. Make sure you guys do so. Also, we do have all the free content, beginner, intermediate, advanced courses on real life trading. You guys are able to take full advantage of that. I won't even tell anybody. You just borrow it. Don't steal it. Just borrow it. But you guys are awesome. I'll catch you guys all next week. Be easy, be safe in the market. It's going to be probably the Chopzilla